Hello, coin collectors out there. Welcome back to the Big D Coins channel. Now, today's video is going to be about the 1964 piece dollar, one of the rarest coins ever made. The reason why it's so rare is because all of them, immediately after they were produced, were ordered to be destroyed. Now, if you go to the PCGS website, one of the articles you might come across is a reward that says $10,000 reward. PCGS is offering a $10,000 reward for the opportunity to view and authenticate a 1964 Denver Mint silver piece dollar. Now, there's a very interesting story behind these piece dollars, so that's what this video is going to delve into. Now, 1964 is actually a very common year for nickels and a lot of other different coins, like you see here. 1964 was actually the most popular year. The 1964 Denver Mint was the most popular nickel ever made. There were 1,787,000,000 of them produced. These are very common coin, 1964 Denver Mint nickel. The mintages for the dime, which we see here, were also rather high as well. In 1964 at the Denver Mint, there were over 1 billion dimes made as well. However, the real rare ones, the real rare elusive coin is the 1964 piece dollar. So what happened there is a very interesting story. I've been kind of procrastinating, so let's get into the story itself. So the 1964, you have to take yourself back to 1964. A very interesting time for the United States and for coin collecting in general. The nation was in the grip of a prolonged coin shortage, which is why they were producing so many of those nickels and dimes and the other coins. The government's stockpile of silver was also shrinking rapidly, as rising silver prices triggered widespread hoarding of silver coins. So imagine just kind of what's going on today with all of the coin roll hunters out there going through various rolls of coins. Imagine that happening back in 1964, but all of the dimes and quarters were actually silver in them. So you didn't really have to weed through too much. You could just kind of get those right at the bank and then just hoard them right away, and they'd be immediately worth more than face value. The coin collectors and speculators had stripped the treasury vaults of virtually all of the reserves of silver dollars. So you might be wondering, well, why would they make more silver dollars? Why would they make this piece dollar if they know that people were going to immediately just start hoarding it? Well, that's when things get interesting. Politics get involved. And, as you see nowadays, anything can happen with politics. So Lyndon B. Johnson was kind of persuaded by a lot of the legislators from the western states to go forward with issuing this 1964 piece dollar. Now, the legislators from the western states wanted this to happen because it would greatly benefit their economy, their local individual states, which is where they minted and produced the silver coins. So the 1964 piece dollar, without much doubt, is the single most valuable U.S. coin struck in the last 65 years. So Congress gave them authorization to start making these reluctantly due to some good negotiating by Lyndon B. Johnson, and they started producing these coins. So once they started producing them, they shortly thereafter realized it wasn't a great idea. One of the more interesting notes is that as soon as they started producing these coins, coin shops and coin dealers were already advertising that you could buy them for $7.50 a piece. So the coin dealers were going to buy these coins for $1 each, because the mint was going to release them for face value and then turn around and immediately sell them for $7.50. So they were taking orders already before they were even released. So they ended up producing 316,106 of these coins. However, they never made it to the light of day. There were also 30 trial strikes that were made. What happened was that Congress kind of persuaded the president to change his mind. The president had to call in and cancel the orders. Representatives from Washington, D.C., as well as the mint went over, and they kind of overlooked and overwatched as all of these coins were melted back down. Now, the reason why these coins were dated 1964 instead of 1965 is that the mint, in order to kind of discourage the coin hoarding, they put a freeze on all of the coins dated 1964. So Congress authorized a deep freeze. All coins struck after December 31st, 1964 would continue to be dated 1964 in an effort to discourage hoarding. But even then, Congress stopped a little bit short of stopping the silver dollar until they later did it back in May 1965. So May 1965 is when they officially stopped producing them. Now these silver dollars were going to look like the original peace dollars from 1935. And what's interesting about this, rather than some of the other rumored coins out there, is that people who have actually been involved in the mint production process have told this story, have verified that it's true. But they all, as part of their duties at the mint, had to sign kind of orders that they wouldn't take any of these coins. And it appears that they all followed those orders because none of them have been released. Now, interestingly, if you have one of these 1964 peace dollars, it might be worth millions of dollars. Unfortunately, it might also get confiscated by the United States. That's because this wasn't an official coin that was produced by the United States. Therefore, it's still kind of the mint's property. It wasn't released to the public, so the public can't legally own it. That's a real problem, and why, if there are any out there, that people haven't come forth and shared them with PCGS despite that really high price to them. So hopefully you found that a little bit interesting. Give you something to think about when you're thinking about 1964 coins, how common they are. And if you can come across that 1964 Denver Mint peace dollar, then you'll have a very great problem on your hands as far as turning it in or paying for it or selling it or what have you. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, a little bit of a history lesson on the 1964 Denver Mint peace dollar. All right, everyone, enjoy and best of luck coin collecting. Take care.